All right, welcome back to Mostly Wizard with Nick and Billy. How's it going, Nick?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm wearing today's sponsor, Yeti, and very great band, Chain Station.
Nice local band.
But I am great, buddy. Alien Earth, we got hit with episode 3 and episode 4 since our last pod, and Peacemaker, episode 1 and 2.
Yeah,
So I'm stoked to be here today.
I am too, man. We got some good Marvel, or not Marvel. What am I saying? Good comic book TV and sci-fi TV to talk about. So yeah, let's kick it off. Getting right into it. So. Alien Earth, we talked last time. I liked it. I don't love it. I still feel the same after, the first four episodes. It's pretty cool so far. I love the style. I love the filming, the cinematic style and all that. Definitely, very cool sci-fi, very cool scary moments, which, sci-fi horror, that's what we're looking for. Um, yeah, we'll dig into the meaning of it. I think that's what I'm searching for. That's what I'm lacking right now is like I'm striving for some meaning in it. And it's all very intriguing. I want to know where it's going. I
Can I
dig.
can I can I ask you,
Yeah.
man? Like as your just kind of initial take from the start to episode 1 to 4, what is your initial just take in from this? I mean, is it hitting these underlining themes of
So
humanness of
n-
what is it to you?
that's what I'm saying. I'm searching for it. And okay, so you kind of led me to like the Peter Pan, like liking the Peter Pan kind of analogies and all that last time we talked. And I still like that, but like to be honest, it's a little too on the nose for me. It's like, okay, her name is
Right, it's
Wendy, and like
obvious.
it's so
Yeah,
obvious.
it's too obvious.
Like you pointed out to me before we got on the call, like that the one cyborg guy is Mojo. What's his name?
Moro.
Moro is like
His first name is Kumi, and his last name is Moro.
yeah, and you pointed out he's like a hook character, and I love that. But like that's so on the nose, and it's just like, okay, like I get it, but like where's that going? And I need that's my note here is like I need that to pay off. I need the Algor to pay off
Well,
because
I mean, like, well,
otherwise it doesn't have
just
meaning.
just don't just forget that. I mean, because from all what I also have said is that like I find that aspect of the show a little uninteresting.
I know, but dude, how can you forget that when it's like right there in your face? Like that's my hold on, let me finish. Like that's the thing with great shows that I love. They have that type of thing in there. It's like, ooh, that's like a Peter Pan reference, but like it's not like naming the character Wendy and Tibbs and all this stuff. It's like in the background. So like the fact that they're doing it so on the nose in front on the surface, it's like, okay, like I get it, but why? Like that, like cool, but why?
Well,
That's my
eh,
take on the show through four episodes is like it's been substance over like it's like
all right.
I don't
All
know,
right, all
like
right.
it's
So,
what's the
all
point?
right.
It's cool, it's scary, but like
Here's English teacher Nick asking you, student Billy here. So, okay, here's your assignment, buddy. Like,
student.
so I see that you understand the very obvious theme here, but what do you think of the whole? Like, what is this? Like, I don't care about what all these themes are. What do you think?
Hey, fellow professor Nick, let's not talk to each other like professors
Oh,
and
come
students.
on, buddy.
No,
All right, all right, all right,
we're
all right, all
peers
right.
here.
Well, all right. Well,
What I'm saying, Nick, what I'm saying, yes, I want to be challenged to think deeper. But is it is the show reaching that potential? For me, no, because it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, but like, okay, go a little
are you
deeper.
seeing my stink eye right now?
Yeah, but do you see my stink eye back, Nick?
I mean,
Because
like, brother,
you're
I'll
not
sit
hearing
here
me.
and
You're
I
not
will
hearing me.
explain it. I know, I
You're
got you. No,
listening,
no,
you're
come
not
on. All right,
hearing.
I won't. I won't interrupt. I won't interrupt. All right, all
No,
right.
it's
Go
it's
ahead. Go
fine
ahead.
if
I'm
you
sorry. I'm
interrupt,
sorry.
but you're just not getting my point that like I don't think they're executing it well. I don't think the points that they're trying to get across to me are getting across to me in a good way. Or like in an not in an I don't need to be beat over the head with it, but that's kind of my argument. They're trying to beat me over the head with it, but it's not working. It's like, okay, it's very cool. I want to know what this Peter Pan stuff is, and like, yeah, I can look past it for now, but they keep bringing it up, and then it's kind of like, okay, so I'm looking forward to where it's going. I like the show. I just don't love it because I feel like they're I don't like how they're telling the story. I think they're too on the nose with the allegory. I think they need to like dig into what the point of the show is. And but where I have hope and everything is talking to you. It seems like there is a theme that I am kind of like it's right on the cusp of me getting like the humanity aspect. I don't know if I want to like hand it over to you at this point and you can dig into that.
Yeah, man. Like, look, my whole spiel or shtick is going to be, I guess, not explaining, but just showing you kind of where this is at so you can kind of also see it yourself. I'm not here to tell you this is what it is. I'm not here to tell you this is what you should be seeing, but I am here to tell you, this is what I'm seeing and this is what I'm feeling. And I get you like 100%. You know what, man? The Peter Pan, like, stuff, it's just way too obvious. It's I don't care about it. It's not like something I think that's like, makes the show great. I think what makes the show great, and yeah, I think personally, I think the whole Peter Pan stuff is just a smokescreen. Okay, this is just noise in the air. All right, I think what makes the show great is just the underlining themes of what it is that makes people people. Um, I think what makes it great is what it is to try and explain what is consciousness. Is consciousness like, like how other people perceive you, like how your personality is, and like how, like, let's say if you were downloaded into a synthetic body and I didn't know that, and but every single interaction between me and you was exactly the same thing, like that you would say in the same situation, like, for anything that I said would say to you, if you were on a third party looking down at your interactions with me and then the synthetics interactions with me, and they were exactly the same thing, is that synthetic the same person as you? I would say no. I would say that what makes you you and what make human consciousness is what your mom and dad did at that exact moment to create you.
Yeah.
There is no other you. There's only one you. And that could not have been done unless it was done at that exact moment by those exact two people that you call your parents. I don't think that I don't think that like, this is what I think. I think the whole it's going to get revealed that the synthetic Lost Boys kids, they actually died. I think they are just uh, very, like, he figured out how to make AI imitate uh, human consciousness,
Yeah.
personality. The question is though, I mean, it kind of like, and this is what I brought into kind of in that first episode that we talked about Alien Earth. When a human child is developing their brain as they're growing up, they're going through puberty. They're, their personality develops with their brain and the experiences they had from, you know, birth to when they're older.
Yeah.
What I also feel comes into effect, like, affects that and, affects how they develop is just hormones. I feel that, being in a synthetic body and being like a, a prepubescent or, pubescent child, if they were like, if you were to look at them, 20 years down the road and compare it to the same person that they had imitated in a human body, I think you would see something totally different.
No.
um, I think that you would see, one with a mature, like a the ability, what you would call maturity, and that would be the human, and the other one would be someone who, I don't know. I mean, we're even diving deep into what affects psychology in this, but
No.
like you would see someone who has a maturity level of a child. I mean, some people call these like narcissists. Some people call these, I wouldn't call them a sociopath or anything like that because that's something like kind of different,
Yeah,
but
they're just
you would see a different.
underdeveloped.
Um, right, right. And one the synthetic may be like way smarter because they can download stuff into their being and learn that in a second, but like the underlining theme about all this is like what makes us human, and that, in my opinion, is experience and the limitations of what we call, the human body.
Hmm.
Um, Kind of getting back to all this stuff, like, yeah, I agree with you 100%. The Peter Pan stuff, it's overdone, it's over, blah blah blah. It's not even on my radar really.
Well,
Like, I really don't care about it. Go ahead.
well, just to jump in right there, like, so I love everything you've been talking about. Like, I'm a psych major in college and everything.
Yeah,
Like, I love the human psyche and all that. But like,
interesting stuff.
why aliens? Why an alien show? You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm not connecting yet. Is that
Yeah,
like why all of this other stuff? Like I care about Alien, the Alien franchise and
sure.
aliens and all the resurrection and all that stuff. Like give me Sigourney Weaver, give me the engineers.
Okay.
Maybe this is all leading towards the development of the engineers, but like I don't know, I'm not connecting with it yet. And that's
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, like, and I'll kind of give you from my loose interpretation of where all this connection comes from. I mean, number one, which I didn't like, say in the previous episode, the immortality aspect, which these
corporations.
prodigy, yeah, boy cavalier, everyone's after.
Boy
You
Cavalier.
see that, yeah, you see that in Prometheus. That was the main theme of Prometheus. Mr. Wayland was after immortality. He
Yeah.
was a very old, decrepit man. Finds this message from aliens, thinking they can save him, and it gets to the end where he meets the aliens, and they just backslap him, and he dies.
Yeah.
So that was from my connection on that. That is kind of where this kind of started. Um, Number two is, the idea of evolution. What they're doing in this is they're evolving humans.
Trying
Synthetics
to,
are,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, synthetics are technically just, physically better, mentally better. I mean, not mentally better, just like can, you know, calculate quicker,
Right.
that sort of thing. And if you were to look at it in like an aspect of like how would you, make a human better? Okay, I would make them smarter. I'd make them more physically better. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
When you look at like aliens, the xenomorphs, this is a creature that has apparently been the same for million. I mean, apparent speculatively millions, maybe longer of years. It doesn't need to evolve. It's already evolved at the peak of being this absolute killing machine that can basically anything that it impregnates, it can take on its characteristics to suit it, and then also it can survive in space. It can do all this stuff. And so that's kind of like how I kind of view this.
Yeah.
And what I've also kind of seen in with the show and with the other alien specimens, the I forgot its name, the eye alien. Its whole shtick is that it can take over the host body and take on its intelligence and
Yeah,
characteristics.
dude.
Um,
That sheep scene
and
was sick.
and again, like I guess we'll just kind of talk about it. Is that alien gonna be the main villain? Is that um, alien just gonna be like a one over that like takes off? Boy Cavalier or something like that. I
Why you keep
think,
calling him
you
Boy
know,
Cavalier?
isn't that his name?
I don't know. That weird guy.
That's his name. Is his name? Is his name Boy Cavalier, dude?
I don't
Look
know.
it up. It's Boy. His
Uh,
first name's Boy. His last name's Cavalier. Um,
what a dumb name.
but yeah,
So
but
so
go
real
ahead.
quick to jump in, like you got me into it a little bit more. Like, the original Alien movie, is about like the fear of the unknown and like humanity being out there amongst space and
I can do it.
what?
Well, that's what it was, man. It was like humans
Yeah.
overcoming this, like because
This
humans. Okay, so
terrifying
here,
thing that you don't know what it is. It's like it's in the dark and it's like an alien, but it's a monster and
but you have human intelligence and human
yeah.
imagination, man. If humans can imagine it, if you can think it, you can do it.
Yeah, so like that's where maybe what the series is getting at is like human intelligence over invasion
In
or, infestation.
impossible odds.
Or maybe there's a
I mean,
merging of the two species or yeah, I don't know where it's gonna go. I like it though. I like
well,
it.
like, just think about Alien, dude. Sigourney Weaver. All right, you got this killing machine. She ain't gonna like. How is she supposed to beat this thing? Uses her head,
Hmm.
beats
No,
it. I
I
mean,
like
like
it.
that's kind of like where this is at.
And that's
But
what this show is kind of exploring is like the human
a
psyche
little
and
bit,
yeah,
a
like
little bit.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I
dig
mean, like
that. I dig
it's
it.
like all these like aspects, thrown in there. But like, I do want to talk about like this little eye monster thing because man, there's first I the only reason it has so much screen time is because it's going to be a major player. Now, you did mention that sheep scene where it like, gouged the sheep's eye out, took over its body, raised it up on its hind legs, and then it was looking around at like, Kirsch and Isaac, observing it as they were observing him. You know, what I took from that scene, besides the obvious, what Kirsch was saying, that is that his name, Kirsch,
I'm not
Timothy
good with
Oliphant's characters.
yeah.
I don't have the subtitles on when I was watching it, but his character, he's just like, look what it's doing. Look how highly intelligent it's observing us as we're observing it.
Right, right.
What I took from the scene though wasn't that though. What I took was with that they were using a sheep that it infiltrated, and it rose up, and it was on its hind legs. It was leading the sheep.
Yeah.
And like to me that's like a just a whole, I don't even know what that word is, like, meta, I guess it's metaphor,
Yeah.
um of how easy it is to manipulate the masses type of a deal. And if you think about it, number one though, they didn't really kind of play this. I mean, because if that eye thing were to take over a human, you would be able to see it. I mean, like you could see the trauma on that sheep's eye. I mean, like there's no way you'd mistake that. I mean, like if it were to take over a human and it was talking to you, I think you'd be like, yeah, let me go get this gun real quick here. Like I don't think you're you, but I think what I'm trying to get at though is that like, okay, so if they show an example of that eye thing, like, taking over a human and it doesn't actually like cause all that trauma, like it taking over Boy Cavalier, where he's like, leading the masses, and he's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's where I can kind of see this type of thing going. Everyone's saying that it's gonna like take over a xenomorph, but it's like, okay, well, first off, point out where a xenomorph's eye is at. But second off, like, I don't think so. I think that xenomorph's just gonna go like kill
Yeah.
it real quick. That's what I think. But I don't know, man. Like, what are your kind of thoughts on like? Because I told you I was like, dude, episode 3 was all right, but episode 4 just really, really creeped me out. Um,
What creeps you
what are
out? What
more of
was
your
the
thoughts? There?
what was the thing that creeped you out?
All
Just
right, all
like
right.
the
Two things. Two fucking things. Number one is I guess her name is Nibs.
Yeah.
Her whole like psychotic break,
Yeah,
where she's
yeah.
just
I
like
like where that's
she's
going.
she's
Like,
she's like a freaking like a 12, 11-year old girl. Hey, I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant. It's a girl.
I'm pregnant. And then she like she's talking to the other head scientist lady in Prodigy, and she's like kind of does one of those things where she like flies out of her seat right
Yeah.
to her freaking throat, and it's just like, whoa, like you were like why like are you like are they allowing this like to continue? Like you shouldn't. Like this is just bad news. Like quick hit the switch in the back of the neck, turn her off. But like that number one was creepy. It was dealing with like a childlike, well, I mean a child, like saying that she's pregnant. But number two, it's a synthetic, thinking that she's pregnant. But
Hmm.
I guess that can be talked about because she still thinks she's a human. Okay, the other thing that I thought was super super fucking creepy was just the end where the chest burster comes out. And
Mm.
they always are talking about
Hello, my
aliens
baby.
being like,
Hello, my honey.
yeah, right, right. They're always talking about like xenomorphs being these like serpent-like beings, and like
Yeah.
I've never saw it. I always saw them as kind of like more of like a lizard that's like swimming through the water type deal. I've never saw them as like a serpent.
Hmm.
And when I like from this showing, like I was just like, whoa, like that's fucking super creepy. And then like she's just like so enthralled with it, and just like like, oh hey, like let
Yeah.
me just pet you, like
And
you're not gonna be dangerous. This isn't gonna go awry later.
yeah, and there's like like not to get super weird, but like there's the phallic aspect of it. Like it's Alien was always the alien xenomorph was always originally supposed to be like this phallic, weird, like alien being. So like the fact that she's like enamored by this new phallic being, um, is weird and disturbing, and I like it in a story sense of like I want to know where it's going.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, digging it.
I got two questions to ask you because this has been haunting me. So number one, um Timothy Oliphant's character, Kirsch, like I think it's kind of a cliche, but like at the same time, it's cliche like the in Prometheus David, where he's just you know his he ultimately like rebels against like his creators and like does his own that's where I think his character is going, and I don't like that. But I mean, I kind of see how that's because like in the last episode we talked about how he I didn't want to see these child synths have like a superiority complex, and that's what I see coming. I mean, he's a synthetic, and I see that from his character the entire time. His conversation with Wendy. I think it was in the second episode or the first episode on the way to the crash site where he's talking about how you guys were food, and then you gained technology or something, and then you weren't food, but like you were actually still food because there's like always something bigger or maybe smaller that
Right.
can kill you. That whole statement right there is just like a statement of how he views his superiority over the human mind, like, and that's kind of how that's what I don't like though, because if they're supposed to be like androids, robots, synthetics, whatever, like where is it written that they are able to show emotion? You know what I mean? Like, because what he shows all the time is like this disdain and just like superiority
Yeah.
that like I'm you know what I mean, like type of
I
deal.
I do. I don't know. Like his Timothy Oliphant's character hasn't been doing it for me, to be totally honest. Like I haven't been, again, just not connecting with. Like I don't get the point of is he nefarious or is he just pretentious or something. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I hope.
Well,
He,
I mean, from what I'm like kind of like weaving together in this quilt of like, picture of the universe that is all these movies and the show, it's like Ash from the first Alien movie, or if you've 2000 Hal from
yeah,
2001, The Space Odyssey. It's where you have the AI creation, just deeming the creator a inferior being, and eventual like rebellion type of deal. Um, which I mean, like I said, I don't like that. I think it's cliche. I really do.
yeah,
Um, I think I think kind of a better story would have been more like, instead of like being like kind of a rebellion type thing, more of like a complete loyalty to, I guess you could call it, because Boyle Cavalier is his, quote unquote, creator master that he, has to follow. I think instead of like a rebellion type thing, it would be more like a, yes, I will continue to do a complete loyalty to you, but I still feel, and that I hate using the word feel, uh, pity towards what you are doing. And
yeah,
like, he would kind of say have a conversation with like Boy Cavalier, like, this and this and this, type of deal. And you were, doing this and this and type and this and this, like, where it's like he's pointing out Boy Cavalier's flaws, and his flaws are not using like, intelligence, science, logic in a situation, but more like, like, hey, this is gonna make me rich, so I think I should do this type of deal. And he's just like, yeah, yeah, I get that, and I will do that, but like, this is why you were definitely gonna be wrong.
yeah.
I feel like that is kind of a more, in my opinion, a better, character arc. If you were to call it, like, with this aesthetic, I don't like the whole idea of like, yeah, my programming has made it so smart that like, I've determined that you're stupid, so I shouldn't follow it. I don't like that. I think it's done, and I just don't like it. But um, the other, I know I had another aspect here I wanted to talk about. Talked about that. Talked about Timothy Olyphantes,
Oh, real
and I can't remember the other
Well,
one.
real quick, you give you a chance to remember that. Like, just going to my last couple notes that we've kind of touched on with, like Timothy Olyphant and the Wendy character and a few other people. I don't love the characters in the show, and I don't know that. I don't think it's the actors. I think the acting is good. I think it's just the characters. Like, there's no the best shows.
Substance,
What's that?
substance.
Yeah, there's nothing to glom onto, like we're talking about humanity, like what is humanity and all this stuff, but like I don't care about any of these people's humanity. I don't care, like anybody on this show could die and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever." In the best shows, like we're going to talk about in a second, Peacemaker, like I care so much about all those characters, and that's how I'm able to get into the story. And like I think that's part of the big barrier for me with this show is just like i'm not I'm not identifying. I don't know if identifying is the right word, but like I just don't connect with anybody on this show, and so it's like hard for me to be, it's hard for me to care. It's just like, okay, like you're probably going to die from an alien, so like just show me the aliens. you know
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
right. Well, and again, I'm not, and honestly, I will not take apart that argument because that is a legit argument. And the only thing I will say is where I will find kind of humanity and a bit of character development, um, in the synthetic child hybrid, slightly the Indian kid
Hmm.
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hit
This episode,
I
that
I I
episode
like
4
his
was really
character.
good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his character. I like the okay. What makes me uncomfortable is Moro's interaction with him
Hmm.
because it's like the whole what it's portraying is just taking advantage of a child,
Yeah,
and it it makes me uncomfortable. Like I don't like that. I mean, I guess that's the kind of what they go for. It's just like, hey, this is why this guy's a piece of shit.
yeah,
But like at the same time, this also goes to like Moro's character because he has said that like, hey, you know, these specimens, this mission is my life. Like his,
yeah.
he's a man out of time. Everyone he knows is dead. It's been revealed he has it. He's been a, he was a dad.
Hmm.
Um, we don't know what happened. Presumably, what is the logical thing to think? Either A, something happened to his daughter, and he something happened to him, which caused him to get like cyborg implants
Hmm.
and joined the company or was already in the company, or B, his daughter really needed something, so he joined the company and subjected himself to these trials as part of advancing the company,
Yeah.
and then being you know subject to their missions and type stuff like that. So that's what I think. But it it shows just like cause like in the first when we did the last episode, I had pointed out how he's very synthetic like, very he portrayed very David Ash, Mr. Tang characteristics where he didn't care if people were dying around him. He's trying to get that mission complete, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
Um, and you kind of learned a little bit more about it, and you definitely kind of learned more about his just drive, I guess. But at the same time, it's just like, I liked the back and forth a little bit, when he was talking to him. But at the same time, if you think about it, like how nefarious
Yeah,
that
it's a
was,
mind
like it's
fuck. I
just
don't
like
like it.
no, I mean
He's like, "Do
it's
you want
not
to
even
talk to your
mind.
mother?"
Right, right, and it's just like like, hey, how can I talk
Yeah.
to you like in a manipulating way? And it's just like, dude, like, when you think about that in real world aspects, like how, like, that is actually a thing, like
Yeah.
it's fucked up. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Um, but yeah, I like their back and forth. I really did. I think what's stupid is Curly, the girl that is jealous of Wendy. You know what I mean? Um, I
Oh
think
yeah. Yeah.
right. I thought also was kind of stupid is that only one of them is like really into like learning stuff, which is that Isaac character. Because it's just like, okay, so if you were like these Matrix characters that can just like upload any sort of knowledge into your consciousness instantly, then like what like why first off, why wouldn't they be doing that anyways? Like, why wouldn't the Prodigy just being like, okay, you're gonna learn this, then you're gonna learn this, or like, why wouldn't they just have before they went online,
Hmm.
um, uploaded all knowledge known to man? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff just didn't really make sense to me. Um, because you're getting all like what does make sense is that you're getting all these issues that are occurring with all these child synthetic hybrids where you're like, okay, so we did that. Now it's been a little bit of time, and then now everybody's starting to question their own reality and their
Right.
own authority, and like that sort of thing. Like none of that kind of like really makes sense to me. Like why that is just done that way, but you know, I, I'm not a scientist, Billy. Maybe there's something in psychology that's like, hey, there's really something really important if we just wait and watch what they do. Maybe there's something important there. I don't know. But I personally I think it's kind of dumb, like leading the problem. But
Yeah,
hey, that's the story,
yeah.
right? But
That's the kind of thing that I'm saying about the show. Like, not everything is working for me. I like it. I just don't love it yet. I do think I remember your last point about your one other critique, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, I don't get me wrong. I don't hate this show. It's just I don't love the whole Peter Pan allegory thing that I don't.
it's played out.
Well, I want to see if they can like land stick the landing, like a gymnast, stick the landing, and then it'll be good. But like, we'll see. Uh, yeah. So I think the last thing that I had in my notes, and I think it might be what you were trying to think of, is like, okay, you're watching this show, and then all of a sudden they're going on a transport from one planet to another, and they decide to put on a random ass rock and roll song. I didn't like the music choices in these episodes, Nick. Wasn't music choices part of your complaints?
It was. I mean, that was not my complaint, but like now that you brought that up, though, it was. I mean, but okay, so like if they had done that where they shown like them going to a planet and doing that, yeah, I would really hate that. But what I did not like, and it was totally out of the tone of the story and the whole thing, was when they were going back from the crash site to Prodigy headquarters,
Yes.
and they're like playing this early, like it reminded me of just like between the era of 1990 and 1994,
Hmm.
um, guitar like just solo riff, like
It was
that you would
totally their
hear like
Flirts and
late
Flaus.
night, like yeah, like maybe like on Baywatch or something like that. Like yeah, I don't know. Like it was just it was bad. Like I thought it was just totally.
Yeah.
I don't know who picked that out. It was bad.
And they've
Like
done that
and when I
they've done that a couple times, didn't they? In like the first one or first episode or
I,
second episode, I feel
that was
like.
the first time I have any critique about any kind of like tone music because like like, some people were pointing out that it was like supposed to be like soldiers returning from Vietnam. I was like, no, this
No.
was. I mean, like, no, like get out of here. But like, second off, okay, now that you brought that scene up, okay, why are they portraying these hybrid synthetics as being tired?
Yeah.
Because that's what they were doing. They they're hybrid synthetics with a lithium with some
Yeah.
sort of battery that can power a city for I don't know how long. Like I don't
Yeah.
it was just bad. But okay, so tone wise, I didn't like that. But um, I don't really remember what the heck my other qualm was. I think I'm gonna say it was having to do with oh, you know what? It wasn't even a qualm. I think it was just something I connected. Oh no, you know what it was? It was the whole thing with Wendy being this special synthetic hybrid because she's the first somehow that she's able to hear alien language
Yeah.
and like
Well,
they
they
give this
chose
they give this
her.
oh bullshit
Yeah.
bullshit like this that's now like, what we're gonna hear Billy what we're gonna hear and this is what I think and this is what would be better this is what will save that stupid storyline
Yeah.
of choosing her like I give me a fucking break choosing like this is what I think Billy I think that okay now hear me out
I'm listening.
Alien vs Predator do you remember that movie
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it in 10 years, but
do you remember what happened to the very end when the queen was attacking the alien and the girl
I did not.
in the Antarctic? Okay, in the very end, the queen breaks out of the underground temple, following the predator and the archaeologist lady, and they team up to fight the alien queen, who's like 2 stories high.
I
And
remember
what
the
they do
Queen.
to yeah, what they do to stop her is I believe they attach a bunch of chains to her that's attached to anchors, and they just sink her down to the bottom of the ocean.
Hmm.
So the big question has been how if anything, is aliens been connected to these synthetic hybrids? And this is my theory, because this is what has been explicitly stated, that Alien versus Predator or any sort of events that happen like that is not connected with any sort of anything to do with Alien Earth.
Mm.
Okay, fine, cool. Yeah, great. That's smokescreen. Great. This is what I think. There is definitely some sort of connection where aliens have had some sort of connection with humans in the past, and that is what I think. Is that they found the alien DNA of the alien queen down in the deep ocean, and Prodigy's been some sort of subsidiary or whatever Prodigy was before Prodigy was Prodigy. Um, was held on to it. Either that or Boy Cavalier had found a treasure map and went down there and found it. But the other question is that why did they need alien, DNA inputted into synthetics to do a human download of consciousness?
Yeah.
Like what is the whole reasoning behind that? Now maybe that is what they're getting at, is that like they have some sort of psychic link that cuz like the
And that
alien.
originates with Wendy, the psychic link.
Right, right. And eh, maybe that's where this is at. But
I don't know. I like it.
I
I dig
I
it.
will say this, that is where in a I would I hope in a very long shot aspect, I would like them to bring it back to AVP. I liked AVP, Billy. I thought AVP was good. I thought Alien versus Predator Requiem was.
Requiem was pretty good. I have good
I
memories of
like that.
that.
I like that one better. I don't know why
So,
people hate on that.
all right, we're at the 42-minute mark, Nick. I think we need to
All
transition into
right.
Peacemaker. But before we do, I think my biggest question still remaining for Alien Earth is, with all this allegory bullshit, who is Tinkerbell?
Ooh.
Comment down in the comments section. Let us know what you think. We'll bring that up for the next episode. And also, I freaking hate the fact I looked it up. His name is Boy Cavalier. Really dumb name. Really don't like it. All right.
Yep.
Transitioning on to Peacemaker season 2, episodes 1 and 2. Nick, we haven't fully talked since the premiere of Peacemaker. Um, just to give my initial thoughts, and then we'll dive into your thoughts, and then we'll dive into discussion. My initial thoughts, I think it's very different than season one in a very good way. I absolutely love that right off the bat in the intro credits, they replaced the Justice League with the Justice Gang, and the uh, fish fucking joke with the puke fetish joke. That was great. And then moving on. Episode one was phenomenal. Really set the tone for the rest, or for what I feel like is going to be the rest of the season. I've only seen the first two episodes so far. Um, the We'll get into the intro song. The intro song I love. I've My new favorite band is Foxy Shazam. Um, the uh, the band that does the intro song for that. I've been listening to that song on repeat, as well as some other great songs that they have on different albums. Um, so yeah, just before I turn it over to you, Nick, some bullet points. I love, I absolutely love the age of comic book movies that we're in right now. It feels like we're in a new, going from like whether it's silver to gold or gold to silver, we're in this new silver age of comic book movies where we're not afraid to wear silly costumes and say comic booky quips, but and do deep cuts like Super Bunny or whatever her name was with the camel toe. Like I absolutely love that shit. It's very quirky. But we can also get very boys like dark, like gratuitous orgies and also violence and all that stuff, like the boys. So it's like a perfect common ground between like the MCU and the boys kind of universe. I just feel like James Gunn is nailing the pocket. And just yeah, last two takeaways, and then one more thing. Last two takeaways: Foxy Shazam, phenomenal. I love that band. I love the mention of Gotham in this latest episode. I know that was mentioned in season one also, and that's just the world building there. They brought up Bloodhaven, um, and Gotham so far. I just yeah, like bring up Central City. Let's keep this world being built. And then the last comment, and I'll turn it over to Nick. To you, Nick, what do you think? Are you offended by this latest episode of Peacemaker? They crossed the line, man. Ginger Cool. What do you think?
No, man, I was trying to pick up something like that, and I I don't even know. I don't even like I'm honestly Tim Meadows, and
I
that is
love Tim Meadows, man.
definitely part of what I wanted to talk about. It was just Tim Meadows being the best character
Yes.
being introduced. Um, and honestly, no, like I was trying to figure that out. I was just like, huh, like okay, all
No,
right,
it's not
but
offensive.
like you know,
That's what I love about it.
like I do want to talk about kind of just everything you're just kind of saying. Go back through your bullet points real quick here because I lost something I really wanted to talk to
No,
you
no,
about.
you're good. All right, Silver Age, Golden Age, comic book eras. Um, the oh, that's where you kind of pointed at me was like in between Marvel and the boys is where the DCU is. Was that what it was?
Mm-mm. Keep going.
Nick, are you frozen?
You froze. Hello?
Nick, I think you're frozen.
Hello?
It says your internet connection is good, but
I can't
I'm
hear
not
you. I'm
seeing you,
really
buddy.
old.
Let me go to my view just
William?
for a second. Oops. Let's go back to the gallery
William?
view. How you doing
I
there,
don't know
Nick?
where you're gone, William. Hello?
Oh, there you
Oh,
are.
Lordy.
How's it going?
Oh, there you are.
What do you think?
All right. Wait, go back through your things because, like, I was. You had me, and I wanted to comment on something that I thought was pretty cool, but
Hang on.
just go through your bullet points.
All right. So was it? I don't know where I cut off, but So I talked about the
I'll say whenever I think about
yeah,
it
yeah,
like that.
the Silver Age versus Golden Age of comic book eras. The Marvel and boys, like between Marvel and boys, we have DCU. That's kind of where I'm feeling like it's landing with the raunchiness versus wholesomeness, that sort of thing. Talked about Foxy Shazam and the world building with bringing up Gotham City. Hope to hear Central City soon, or Metropolis, something like that. I don't know. And actually, I do have one more question. I'll just throw it out there now. I it might be a dumb question, but where is this show take? Where does Peacemaker season one and season two? What city does it take place in? Is it
Good
DC?
question, man. I don't. I want to say DC as well. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, but I honestly I've never seen the White House displayed anywhere,
No,
and I don't. I
maybe it's
that's
like
why I would
Ohio or
rule out
something.
DC. Like yeah, it's definitely something not you know prevalent, but like. Yeah, I mean the only reason I say like because DC definitely popped in my mind, but like the only reason I'm saying it's not DC is because the White House didn't nowhere displayed anywhere.
Yeah.
I want to say it's Ohio too, something like that, because like I'm thinking back to season one where like all these things were happening and the
Hmm.
butterflies are everywhere. I want to say it's like something like that. I know it's like um, he's a Midwest superhero, dude.
Hmm.
Like he's a everyday man. So I kind of want to say like I mean like might as well just screw it, dude. Let me just go. Just Google says here. Good lord, come on, fingerprint.
What's going on with your internet
Let's go.
connection, Nick? You got a little choppiness going there.
Yeah. It's my internet connection, right?
It is this time.
All right. So where does Peacemaker Evergreen, Charlton County, Washington.
Washington
Washington,
State.
Washington.
Washington State,
Yeah,
though, so West Coast.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought about that in the episode when Rick Flag Sr., which I love his role, like his cartoon hair, like he's great in the show so far.
Dude, Crossbones. Okay, look.
Yeah,
I'm like, let's just talk about his character. His the actor. All right,
I'm
he was
drawing a blank on his
typecast in.
name.
He was typecast into Crossbones characters,
Yeah,
but you know, kudos to him because he's in not only in Avengers type shit. I think something else. I can't remember what. Uh,
well, he's in
but
DC.
well, yeah,
He's in the
I was getting to that.
DCEU. Yeah,
I was getting to that, but he's
Frank
played in
Grillo.
something else. Yeah, he's played in something else where he's literally the same character,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and and then he's here in DC, and yes, he's not really a Crossbones character, but he is, playing well the character of, Rick Flag Senior. I mean, Rick Flag Senior and Rick Flag Junior are the same character in my opinion, but
I like
but
what they're doing with it though on Revenge Vendetta, because like, to be honest, like that's kind of like one of the points I wanted to hit was I love where they're going with that, in that the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker kills Rick Flag. They're revisiting that with Rick Flag Senior, on he's gonna get revenge somehow, or maybe atonement of some sort. uh but that's what I love. I love that they're connecting that, and like diving deeper into like something kind of dark, but we'll figure it out. And I forget where I was going with that point, to be honest. I'm trailing off here.
well,
I love
Mr.
Rick Flag
Bilbo,
Sr. and I love that's where I was going with that point. I think they so Suicide Squad, David Ayer's Suicide Squad introduced Rick Flag. He was a decent character in that movie, the Will Smith movie. And then in the Suicide Squad, James Gunn like doubled down on that character, and like like the fact that he died in that movie in that way was kind of like, damn, like that was that at the time when I watched it, it was like, was that a
was it
statement? Was
necessary?
it necessary? Like, should they, like what the hell? And so they're actually going back there, which is what I love. And they're not like going back there in a superficial way. They're like going back there in like a heartfelt, like, no, this dude's out for vengeance. This other dude feels really bad about it and has grown since that. But he hasn't talked to Rick
You're
Flag
getting
Sr.
it.
So like,
You're getting it, Billy. I love it. You
yeah,
did
dude.
it. You're playing with us, Peter. You're
Yeah.
playing. You're doing it, dude. Thank you.
No, dude,
Thank
I,
you.
I am
Hey,
connecting.
hey, welcome to the conversation, Billy. I'm here, dude. I'm
What
about
the
to bring
fuck
this
are
all
you
to you.
talking
I'm
about?
super dude, you just said it, man. You just said it.
Yeah,
Dude, Lord Jesus, I don't even remember what the hell you said, but you said it. Um, brother, that's the whole point. Like, oh no, it was about Peacemaker. You
yeah.
you said it about Peacemaker. You're like, dude, like, you know, you said about his character because you literally was just like, okay, I can't remember what you just said, but you said it though.
Let's
Like,
go back.
this is him growing from that,
Yeah, he's
situation. Like,
grown since that. Since he committed murder against a guy that he actually respected, and he's grown since then. And but meanwhile, other people haven't. They're still on a vendetta against him and
oh
stuff.
man,
So like that's
hey,
gonna
hey,
come to a
dude,
good conclusion or a good
dude,
culmination.
that is, dude, yes. Thank
See, and
you,
Nick,
thank you.
Nick,
I love it.
that's what I'm talking about with, not to compare these two shows, but just to compare like what I love about what I
I
consider
didn't even
good
get that.
TV.
I didn't even get that from I didn't even get that from the Suicide Squad. I'm like I got that just from what I've seen,
Yeah.
but like I'm super happy.
No, I know,
Go ahead,
but
go
what
ahead.
I'm
I'm
saying
sorry.
about like Alien Earth versus Peacemaker, and not to pit the two against each other, they're totally different shows. But I think the writing that I like in storytelling is more aligned with James Gunn's writing style, in that he's
Sure.
gonna put things very on the nose, like I was complaining about with
Is
the
it
other
on the
show.
nose though?
But
Is it
they
on
have
the
that
nose?
heart, they have that depth, they have the, you know, like I know I don't know where this is all going, but I know it's gonna
Right.
go somewhere really good. And that's not what I have with Alien Earth. It's I feel like this could
I
go
like
somewhere
that.
going.
I like that.
I feel like this could go somewhere cool, but it's could go somewhere not that cool. But I know Peacemaker's gonna go somewhere cool, and that's why I love it.
And that goes back to the traditional, you know, hero stance of, I don't know, like I know where this is going to go, but I don't know where this is going to
Yeah,
go, but like I know that this is the dude that is like, representation of,
dude.
the hero, type of deal. Like I get it. I get it. That's 100%. I'm so happy you said that, dude. Like that's absolutely a great way to put that. And like I didn't even like I honestly I never even put it back to that, but what I did was,
Yeah, give me some of your notes.
absolutely, yeah, yeah, man. I mean, and this is what, All right, so super brief synopsis before we even get into this. Exactly what he says. James Gunn's DC universe is all about human mental health, and just the human mentality. That is what number one, Peacemaker is all about. You have a group of broken people who are, save the world, and they connect with each other, but like everybody else doesn't understand them, but they understand each other. And it's not because I mean, yeah, I guess they are broken, but they're not broken. Like, if you look at like a soldier of war who has had these extreme experiences with, other soldiers that are with them, they're not going to be able to connect with somebody who was not there. It's the same thing like with anybody who goes through a traumatic experience, they're going to connect with somebody who was in that
Yeah,
traumatic
man.
experience. But if you look at Peacemaker season 1, Creature Commandos is all about a bunch of monsters looking to fit into the human world and have their own human experiences, because that's all that was. If you look into it, all it is them
Uh-oh.
trying to be
You're frozen, Nick.
human and have a human experience. You look at Superman. What is Superman's big speech to Lex Luthor about how he is human? Um, what it is. All right, hey Billy, let me go fix my contact, buddy. Just start talking about your some stuff, and I will come pick up. I'll be back in like a minute.
Yeah, yeah, you're good. Um, Hopefully you're all good there in a second. Yeah, so with Peacemaker, I part of what I love is the world building. Like I said, um, little things. I was talking to my wife Mandy about this while rewatching the episode 2 yesterday. Um, One of the things that made Daredevil, the Netflix series Daredevil, so great back in the day, back in the what was that? Oh man, 2000 teens, whatever that was, the 2016s era, they weren't able to pull things in from the MCU movies, but they were able to reference things. And so like there's a couple times they reference, you know, the Battle of New York in the Daredevil show. And that was like the coolest thing ever at that time because it's like, oh shit, like they could tie it in. Like what is the potential there? And so like that's really what I'm loving so much about all of these James Gunn properties, all of these DCU properties. But let's be realistic, it's all from the mind of James Gunn. And he's doing it really well. And he's doing it in a way where all these properties have that common world building element of, you know, like it's all so the tones are different. You know, it can be silly, it can be heartfelt. It can be, an orgy scene. It can be a murder scene. But it all kind of ties back into, like Nick was saying, this humanity, this like what is humanity and what is being a superhuman. Um, and that's what's really cool about it. So uh, yeah, I think I vamped for a little while there. I lost my train of thought right when you came back in, but I was making a good point, just about how that's what I was making. In all these properties of the DCU so far, the world building that James Gunn's been doing has been just so good. And like the example of bringing in Nick, while you're gone, I don't think you could hear me, but I brought up the Netflix Daredevil show, like when they used to reference like the Battle of New York. Like that was the coolest thing ever. And that's what we're getting now with references to Gotham and, potential other, like the imps. They brought up the imps in episode 2 with inner the other dimensions, and we had the dimensional imp in the Superman movie. And like, where's that going to go? We had Batmite brought up in the first season of Peacemaker. And that's kind of what I mean about there's a balance that is just I connect with this universe so well, like with James Gunn's writing style and directing style and musical style, like um the fact that you bring up Batmite in season 1 of Peacemaker, and then you show interdimensional imp in this weird orb thing in Superman, and then you bring up imps being 2 doors down or how many ever doors down, in this pocket dimension thing with all these doors. That's all world building, and it's all connecting. And like, I'm talking about things from different properties from different years, yet it's all the same, and it's all like very, very simple. And that's just the coolest thing about this whole like new era that we're in, just going back to the whole Silver Age uh analogy of it all, is like we're not afraid to wear brightly colored costumes. We're not afraid to say superhero quips and bring up, Batmites that stand, or you know, interdimensional imps that stand Batman,
Billy, you
stuff like that.
froze.
So yeah, I'm
Hello.
here for it all. I love this so much. Um, my wife Mandy is watching it alongside me, and she's really into it too. Um, yeah, I can't say much more about how much I love this show so far.
I mean, like, okay, so it what it does well, which it stands apart from.
Be right back. You keep talking. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, it stands apart. I mean, you can go ahead and like counter me with like the Guardians of the Galaxy, but like there's a difference though. Like the way James Gunn does this is it's different. The use of the music in the end, the beginning, during. It all has a definite effect, and it's definitely strategically picked compared to with Marvel, where I just think it's just something nice to listen to. But I feel there are many aspects to this new DC universe that James Gunn is presenting, and then and what we are seeing here on Peacemaker, it's being unveiled to us. James Gunn has said that Peacemaker season 2 is the most important aspect of his DC universe, and I mean, like the way, if you're gonna look at it in a way that we're gonna about to dissect this to you guys, I can believe that. If you're gonna look at it in a way that it's just gonna lay out some story, I mean, I'm gonna disagree. But let's start off with just go with what we're saying here. So, Billy, man, I'm just I'm gonna get into this. So, as far as episode 1, I wasn't wowed. I wasn't, nothing was revealed to me. The only thing was kind of, portrayed and set the stone for was that everybody was hurting. Everybody was hurting. everybody who
Yeah, for
was
sure.
part of that, world-saving event were, just hurting. So, come this episode 2, I'll start off with just kind of where what I just absolutely thought, and then it'll just kind of dive in. Um, well, I guess I'll start in episode 1, but it kind of goes into episode 2. The economist and his friendship with, not friendship with, just his continued communication with Vigilante.
Yeah.
Um,
The Vidge.
yeah, yeah. So I will jump back into this real quick here, but I do want to jump into episode 2. Tim Meadows comes in there. Tim Meadows, by the way, best character, best new character. Oh my God, Tim Meadows.
Absolutely love them.
I mean, like if you never thought Tim Meadows was one of the best SNL characters, I mean, like you're crazy. But like, he's definitely one of the best characters. He comes in there calling the economist not by his name. He calls him the economist or economist. Hey, economist. Okay, economist. He gets behind him. He's massaging his shoulders. Like anybody else be like, dude, get the fuck off me, you asshole! Like, what the fuck? But uh, he's like, unforgiving. He's being sent in there by because I wrote down in here who is Bordeaux's, and I was like, who the fuck is Bordeaux's? And then like a little bit later on, it's revealed that that's the girl Sasha Bordeaux's, who apparently has connections with Batman. But either way though, um, she sent him in there, and he's just like massaging him, like making all these quips, and then he says like he's eagerly come out the door. He's like, "Who's the parrot?" And he's like, "What are you talking about, man? Like, that's a freaking bald eagle right there." He's like, "Oh, so I guess you didn't read my background, huh? If you did, you would have seen that
Was
I have
losing
bird
it.
blindness."
That was so
Right,
funny.
right. Yeah, I have bird blindness. I was like, he goes, economist is like, what does that mean? He's like, it means that I can't tell one bird from another. So he goes like, so you're telling me that you can't tell a hummingbird who is a couple inches big from a bald eagle, who's like, uh, several feet big. He's like, no, I can't. I can't tell. The only reason I know what a hummingbird is from what I read. I thought like that whole like storyline, like
Dude,
bird blindness.
if okay, so a couple qualifications here, but like if Tim Meadows doesn't die in this season of Peacemaker, and two, he's able to like join another project with the Justice Gang, there has to be a scene where he says something to Hawkgirl about not being able to like understand like think of Hawkgirl, like she's a bird but she's a human, like could he see her? Like think about that, like he's got there has to be a joke about Hawkgirl and Hawkman, like once Hawkman is comes into the fray.
I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
like I don't know,
That's
I
awesome,
heard somebody put the thought in my head, it was like break room or something, but yeah, that would be nuts.
dude. I love that aspect. Check your phone.
Yeah, I think we are starting to lag. Um, we can hang up and start again. There you go.
So yeah, bird blindness. Tim Meadows. Like I thought this was absolutely brilliant. Um, I thought his just constant like calling the economist the economist was I mean it's just these subtle things they he
Oh
does.
my
It's
God.
like they're like disrespect, like that's his character. It's like, he's not supposed to respect you, and like that's what he does, or just, and that's part of what this goes back to. This part of what this show goes back to, like this underlining theme. But I kind of wanted to get into this a little bit. Let me see what else I kind of wrote down on here. Um okay, big theme. Peacemaker goes into a dimension, finds himself, kills himself. Okay, if you were looking at that in like a real world, like kind of allegory, parable, analogy,
Analogy.
yeah, like I mean, like something that's like kind of the same thing. Where would you find that sort of thing? Where somebody is finding themselves and they kill themselves, not in like the suicide sense. It is in a sense of ego death, where
Yeah.
if type of deal. I thought that was kind of a very big thing that I very much connected to this. Um, if you look at what he the peacemaker that he saw, it was the peacemaker that he wants to be, that he thinks he wants to be,
He
the
wants the
peacemaker that
jetpack.
has. Right, has all the money, has all the fame, has all the glory, has all this stuff, and he thinks he wants all of this stuff. Um, and then you kind of find he kind of slowly, surely, I mean, like you a little bit, you kind of find out little bits and pieces about the personality of this peacemaker. It's not some sort of saint or anything like that, but the point is that you know he kills him. His reaction,
Accidentally. Well, hold on. He kills him accidentally, like he killed his
hey man,
brother.
I took a bunch of mushrooms and accidentally killed my ego too, dude. Like it happens. Like I didn't mean to do it. It happens, and
No,
like
no,
like that.
you're missing something though that's I think is important to the show is that he accidentally killed his brother in the real world. Now he
Right.
gets into this new world where he gets to meet his adult brother and he ends up killing himself accidentally. Again, accidentally. He's not trying to kill anybody. He just keeps fucking up. I think that's really important. So,
I'm not gonna disagree with you, Billy, but I'm also not going to take that in as something to affect what I'm saying. Like I'm going to say that that is a definite possibility, but I'm also still gonna roll with what I think.
so you're saying
Because
you're looking at it more as like an internal psychological battle where he was faced with this other version of himself and then intentionally fought and killed him.
I never said the word intentionally.
I know, but
I
that's the way you're looking at it though.
but like
With intention.
I don't think, like the whole thing that I disagree with you on is that I don't think the killing of himself has anything to do with his internal struggle with the killing of his brother. I think the killing of himself is the internal struggle he has with himself and everything that holds him back. Now, I think part of that is his killing of his brother, but I think that what he thinks if he never did that, like where he could have been, would have been glorious and everything like that. I think that that's what he's finding out. I think that that's what he's finding out. I think this whole thing is like, if he never killed his brother, where would his life be and how would he be? And
Yeah.
and he saw that, and then he's slowly seeing the cracks in that, and it's coming back. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, so is one personality different from the other? That's in a different. That's not what I'm here to do. But like, I'm here to definitely say, like, I don't think that his non-killing of the brother is affecting, like, I think the person that he is glorifying as who he could have been is not who he is going to find out that he wants to be. I find
Yeah,
that
yeah.
yes, I find that yes, he is going to like knowing who his brother was as he got older, but his dad was this white supremacist and all this stuff, and I think that he's going to find maybe some other muddy stuff you know rubbed off on them. Either way, though, let's go this way. Let's go this route, Billy. Let's go this route. His brother doesn't end up like that. His brother, like, Peacemaker ends up like somebody who's like a hater, a racist type person because of the way his dad raised him, but his brother doesn't, and that's who he gets to know.
But his dad
But
raised his brother too.
right. But still,
Oh yeah.
his brother's still, you can still
Yeah, I get
figure
it.
it out. Yeah, you still figure it out. And his brother chooses not to be like that. And then, Peacemaker gets to see like that's kind of where I think this is gonna be. That's where I think this is gonna go.
Where?
He's gonna get. I think that he's gonna get like okay, so he's gonna get this gift. The gift is that he's gonna get to know his brother of who he never got to know, and that's a gift, right? And that gift, part of that is going to show that he is not, like his dad, who's this racist and all this shit, and he's actually this selfless hero type of a deal. But like, it's not going to be shown like that. I think it's going to be something more kind of subtle, type of deal. I can definitely get behind something like that. Like, I think
No,
that would be
no, Nick.
something pretty cool. Um, I mean, like, go ahead. I mean, like,
No,
because but what we're talking about, Billy,
I'm
what we're
not saying you're
talking about
wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think it's like I think we're okay. It's only
is
episode
it too
two.
deep? It's
No, no,
too
no,
deep,
no.
right?
Hold on.
It's too deep.
No, it's not too deep. Just hold on. Let me say my piece. So we're only episode two into it, and he's only seeing the superficial side of like what he wants, like that other life that he could have had his dad not been horrible. I think that's not true though. Like we're gonna find out like he's still like evil and racist or something, like and the
Yep.
brother is evil and like oh my god, I think this season's gonna culminate in him killing his brother with intention. Like, and that's where I go back, like, not to like, I'm just thinking of this on during this talk, but like, it's all been unintentional death. He killed his father intentionally last season, and I think this season's going to end with him killing his adult brother out of like he's going to come to a realization of like, oh my God, you're a horrible human being, and you should have always died, and now you're going to die, and
I,
like
I
that's
gotta I
gonna
gotta disagree with you, man. I gotta disagree with you. Like, okay, the only reason I disagree with you on that is because the portrayal of his brother as a kid was not like a horrible person, but
yeah.
more of the big brother, like
Yeah,
a good type of deal. Now, I'm not gonna disregard what you said because there is nature over nurture,
yeah,
100%. So there is that real world aspect that, like, yes, from that time, of that period where they were kids and he, accidentally killed his brother, where his dad's, racism and, white supremacy tendencies could rub off on his brother. 100% true. 100% true. That could definitely happen. Now, do I want that to see that in the story? No, I don't. What I want to see, Billy, is I want to see not revelation, but more of like a enlightenment of the situation of who Chris is.
Yeah,
Chris is Chris. Chris Peacemaker isn't Peacemaker. Peacemaker's Chris.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and you know, Chris was made into who he was from, his crazy white supremacist dad and the death of his brother.
He's made into a
But
monster,
right. I mean, well, not a monster, but like
for lack of better terms.
right. Um I think a good story would be a just kind of a reveal, not a reveal, but I mean, I guess reveal of just like, he's not this racist, he's not this and not this, but like, like you said, he could be a bad guy, but like when it comes down to it, is he going to choose his little brother life over his own? That's what I think it's going to be. Like where it's going to be like a life and death situation where it's going to be like, "Hey, I know you're not my little brother, but you are my little brother and I choose you." Like,
No,
look, all
I don't
right,
think it's gonna
Billy.
be that at all.
Wait. Stop, Billy. Stop.
It's not that type of show, Nick.
Hold on,
It's
hold on.
this is
I
a
gotta say,
cynical
I
ass
gotta say
show.
this. I gotta say this. And if Robbie was here, maybe he could contribute to what I'm about to say. I'm a big brother to a little brother. You are a little brother to a bigger brother, and that's why I said if maybe Robbie was here. I don't know. If it was me and my little brother's life was on the line, I would give my life for my little brother. That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's where I think this is gonna go. That's where I think this is type of thing is gonna go.
Mm.
And honestly, Billy, I think that's exactly the same thing that Robbie would say. I think he would give his life for you, and I think that this would be a type of closure for Chris.
Yeah,
I think
I can
I
see that.
but okay, I know
I can see it.
we're way off we're way off topic. I kind of want to like talk a little bit of what had happened and
What had
a little
happened
bit
was,
I want to talk about just the whole aspect of James Gunn's DC universe. I think that Peacemaker season 2 is a perfect example of what this is, and it is a just physical representation of the human experience, human mentality, and just mental health in
yeah.
general. Uh, you know, creature commandos, bunch of you know creatures trying to fit in, type of deal. But they all have, just like I said before, like in all this stuff, human intelligence. It's all the same. You know what I mean? Superman. You have Superman raised in Kansas City. He he gives that whole lecture to Lex. So just like, I am human as just the other same as other person. I make mistakes. And it's true because it just all right, your physical abilities don't make you human. You're just experience. It's a human
Right.
experience. You know what I mean? And that's what this show does in spades. All right. Let's go back. We're not even going to talk about season 1. We're going to talk about the only thing we're going to talk about season 1 is the group of misfits, the gang that did it and saved the world. Every single one of them alone cannot hack it. They just don't like they're
Yeah.
getting shit on. They're getting shit on. They're everybody. You know what I mean? Like Vigilante doesn't have a friend except for the Economist. The Economist. The only reason why he um, entertains Vigilante is because he has no friends. And
Wait.
you
Who
know,
are you talking about? Economists? Do you mean Ginger Cool?
yeah. Am I wrong about that whole situation though? I'm like, did you not see that though? Like, cause like the vigilante, like he doesn't have any friends, right? You know, he has friends in this group because they all shared this experience, and economists like he also just doesn't have friends and
Yeah,
make
yeah,
friends,
yeah.
but like he's entertaining. He knows that vigilante's stupid. You know, he knows that like these conversations are stupid, but he entertains it. He's just like, okay, man, so tell me about some owl facts. Tell me like how much of an
Yeah.
expert on owls are you? Like, you know what
He
I mean?
knew
Like, you know,
nothing.
like dude, Billy, if you started talking to me about that, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, you asshole? Like, what the you know? But like, I mean, so that's kind of like just kind of just displays what this whole thing that James Gunn is portraying.
Yeah, man,
You
it's
know,
humanity. I love it.
but and again, it's just like you know, we all need friends. We all are hurting, and you know, part. I mean, I guess you can't. I mean, this kind of would have to like you know go into like you know if we all had a traumatic experience together. If we all had a traumatic experience together, we'd be all sharing that experience. But I think in what I've seen from Peacemaker, his character is just like the one character that you don't have like a psychological talk with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like in come season two, he's the character that I've seen that is like, hey Billy goes right back to this. He had the ego death. He saw what it is to kill, you know, his
yeah,
ego. He's now helping, you know, having these conversations with the other people of his group, i.e., hardcore. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's changing how their usual back and forth goes. He's changing, like, you know, just all that, and like, you know, she's not ready for that conversation, so she walks away, that sort of thing. Um, Part of what I also noticed, like you know, with all the characters that were in season one, they were never happy. They were not
yeah,
happy the entire start of season two until the last episode when they were having the party with each other.
yeah. Found family.
What did you notice about Amanda Waller's daughter? What's her name? What's Amanda Waller's daughter name?
Adebayo, I believe.
Anna Bayo. Okay. What did she say to
Adebayo.
the? What did she
Um,
say to the? Did you notice what she said to the Economist?
I don't remember specifically, but no, I
Uh,
was picking up on that a little bit, or I not a little bit. I definitely was picking up on that. One other thing I was wondering was the Amanda Waller of it. Like, I don't get, just going back to kind of like the show structure and all that, or like the structure of the story and all that. Like, I don't get fully why Rick Flag Senior is now in charge of. He seems like the replacement of Amanda Waller. How the show
he
is
is.
presenting it, and like, is she in Bellevue? In that Louisiana prison.
She's
Like, is
going
that
up
going to come
against.
back? And
She's going
y-
up against charges apparently from I guess the issues that happened during
yeah, yeah.
Suicide Squad with
I'm
Congress.
just saying, how's
But
the show going to present that though? Like, how's the show going to like go forward
well, our,
from like where
like
she's the details that we've heard about her?
you don't talk about Fight Club, man. Like Fight Club, you know what I mean? Like that's what
No,
this is. Like
no, dude. This is the DCU. We're going to talk about Fight Club. That's the whole thing.
right, but that's what I'm saying. Like you like that's what Argus is like, you know, it's secret
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
CIA stuff. You like, you know, they nobody's gonna know about it, but like somebody's got to be the scapegoat, and that's what Amanda Waller is from the fucking shit that went down, and that's why he's in
Right.
charge now, from my understanding, which is you know
Right. I
limited.
think they need to give a little bit more clarity on that whole situation. I don't know if our understanding of it is factual at this point.
I
I feel like she's up to something. It's Amanda Waller. She's not just
I mean,
in the
okay, look,
background.
the only reason why
She's
I
doing
think
something.
I look, the only reason why I think no is because her daughter is involved, and I think the only thing that, like, okay, so Amanda Waller, if you were to look at her as a character, and as a character, she's a human, and
Paused.
like as a human aspect,
Nick, you're frozen.
what is the one
Uh-oh.
thing that you could say is her weakness?
You
Her only
froze.
weak,
Oh, okay, now
and
you're
oh,
unfrozen.
yeah, her only weakness is her daughter. I think that like they
I
aren't
didn't
gonna.
find her daughter a weakness though. I don't get how that's.
I mean, brother, it's her weakness. It is 100%
Did
her
we see
weakness.
that? Did we see that?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, in my opinion, yeah, yeah. I think that she held. I think that she hid that very well. I think that the only few people that knew that is like Batman and Peacemaker. Um, but
I don't
yeah,
know.
I
I
think
think
that her
there's more
weakness.
story to be told.
I no, I'm not gonna disagree with you, but like, I think her weakness is her daughter. And like
Yeah, I get that.
this isn't coming from like a storytelling type deal. This is coming from like a logical reality type thing. Like
But
what's Billy's
no,
weakness? Oh, okay, his family.
no, no, no.
Like,
Like you jumped right to her weakness, and that's not what I was asking. What I was asking is like, what's her whereabouts? Like, is she just
oh
at
no,
home?
she's in trial. She I think she's under like house arrest. Like
I
she's
know
like
you
in
think, but
trial with Congress.
what I'm
That's what
saying
it
though,
is.
Nick, is like you think. Like we
No, no,
don't
no, no,
know
no.
yet.
This was stated. This was stated by her daughter at the end of episode two, which she was
But
having the conversation with the economist.
but we still don't
Um,
know like what is Amanda Waller's like day to day? Is she sitting at home in a trailer park like just watching TV? Is she in a
bro.
jail? Like we don't know her whereabouts. Like we don't know like exactly what's going on. We heard top level from her daughter like, "Oh yeah, my mom's like in trouble or whatever." But like we don't know the details of that. I want all I'm saying is like I want to see Amanda Waller. Like what condition is she in? Is she's most likely pissed off. She's a caged beast at this point. She wants to break out and do something um exciting, such as get back together the Suicide Squad. Like this is
Okay,
that's where I'm going with this.
all right, Billy. So the Google machine has said that Amanda Waller removed as the head of Argus due to her daughter Leota exposing her covert programs in the public,
All right.
leading to congressional hearings and the appointment of Rick blah 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 blah. Although absent from okay, so it doesn't actually say where she's at. I mean, like,
Exactly.
to
Nick,
me this
hey,
is
Nick, did you just realize my point? Did you just
yeah. I
realize
mean,
what
I
I was saying?
do, but
Like
like I mean, like
they've said she's in trouble, but like where physically is she? Is she sitting at home watching TV? I doubt it. Do you get what I mean there?
I mean,
I
like, dude,
doubt Amanda Waller is sitting at home
okay.
awaiting somebody coming to her
The
door to put her in handcuffs.
the only
So
reason I'm gonna agree with you is because like as Amanda Waller, she could easily flee the country. There's nothing stopping her from fleeing the
I'm not gonna
country.
flee the country.
Well, no, I mean like okay, look, in this sort of
She's
situation,
up to
like
something. She's up to
right,
something
right,
that
right.
is
I mean
for
like
good. And
either if she's not in jail, she's either at home, and if she's at home, she's got an ankle monitor on there, and if she's got an ankle monitor on there for some reason they don't think they think they can
Nick,
keep her in the country,
Nick,
which I
you're
don't think
way
they
off,
can.
my man.
Well,
Dude, you
explain.
no, I'm not gonna explain. I'm just saying, like, look at the potential there. And that's why, like, why I bring it up is because part of why I bring it up is because James Gunn announced an Amanda Waller series.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, that was one of his original pitches back in 2 years ago or whatever, January. And so like that's why I'm saying is like what is Amanda Waller doing right now? Like yes, we've been told that she went through these hearings and she's in trouble. We've heard that. We're not
It
hearing and seeing. No, 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 Nick, we're not seeing what she's doing right now. What I'm
You
saying is that
convince
I
me.
guarantee she is has machinations out there. She's
Yeah,
putting together the
you're right.
next Suicide Squad or
Yep,
the next like
that's
Creature
it.
Commandos. She's in
Yes,
Creature Commandos. That's what she's doing. So
dude.
that's
Yes.
the missing piece that I'm leaving out is like where's the gap between
No,
uh
you're right. You're right.
Peacemaker
100%
and
right.
Creature Commandos? Like she was in charge of mutant or Project M or whatever it was, mutant Project Creature or whatever it was.
They don't use the word mutants.
No, I know,
Meta.
but Project Metahuman. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever it was. That's where I'm going with it. Is like I want to know more
Oh no,
about
you're
where
right.
Amanda Waller's and so like, oh my god, dude, what if they cross over the Creature Commandos? Like, what if they bring in like the Bride of Frankenstein into Peacemaker? That would be so
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
Yes. There you
Yes.
go. Billy. Imagine. You remember that movie? With it was a Dracula movie. It's not a kind of a Dracula movie. Um, the dude that played Wolverine. What's his name?
Oh, Hugh Jackman. Yeah, Van
Hugh
Helsing.
Jackman.
Van
Van
Helsing.
Helsing. Do you remember that movie Van Helsing? You
It
remember
was
how it
all
was kind of like
right.
all over the place and shit like that? Like imagine that was like a DC movie, dude. Like imagine
Yeah.
that. Imagine that movie, like kind of like how that was like done, like with the Creature Commandos. So that would be the
Yes.
real life Creature Commandos with like kind of,
Yes.
Batman and shit and Swamp Thing or something
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
Like that would
Nick,
be
that's what I
dope,
love.
dude.
That's
Dude,
what
that was a
I
cool movie. Van Helsing was a cool ass fucking movie,
it was all
dude.
right. It was yeah,
Dude, it was a
it could
cool
have been better.
dude. It was a cool ass fucking movie. Like, I want to hear different about that movie.
In a
All right, all
world
right, all
of
right. Go ahead.
Kate Beckinsale's Underworld or whatever. Yes, Van Helsing was a decent movie. What was that
All
movie
right.
that she did? The lichens with the lichens and all that?
Uh, I mean, it was
The,
an underworld movie, but like, yeah, it was it.
it was called Underworld, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there was like underworld like one, two, three, and four, but like, yes, one of them was definitely like that had to do with the
Anyway,
lichens, the werewolves, like because
it was Underworld though. Was the
it was
franchise?
that one guy. It was that one guy. That English dude who played always. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, man.
All right, let's go back here because I do want to talk about like all this shit because
Raise your mic up.
I do want to talk about all this shit because I think that James Gunn is definitely displaying his whole mentality for the DC universe
Yes.
in Peacemaker right now and is very, very apparent. And I love the discussion we just had about how the whole gang has, they're not happy. And, the only time they were happy is when they were, had that party with each other, because nobody understands them, none of this stuff, or nobody's giving them credit. This all goes back to the start of, Creature Commandos, them trying to fit in as humans. I mean, they have human intelligence, they act like humans, but like, they just don't look like humans. Goes to Superman, a being with like an unworldly power, but he has, was raised in, the human world, has human intelligence. This is all has to do with, in my opinion, human intelligence. I mean, am I wrong on this? I mean, did you not see this type of underlining thing, Billy?
Wait, are you going back to Alien Earth now, or
No, no, I'm going from Creature Commandos to Superman to Peacemaker.
with human intelligence being the common
Like,
thread?
just the human experience, the
Oh, the
human,
human experience. Yeah, 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 yeah.
like, like this is like, hey, I mean, all of Peacemaker season 2 is them being depressed, them dealing with
Yeah,
mental, anguish. Them only time they're happy is when they're with each other because they've experienced the same thing and they
yeah,
understand
dude,
each
but I mean,
other.
like, that's what every story is. Every story is about the human experience, unless it's about an animal
Well,
or something.
right.
I mean,
I'm not gonna disagree
what?
with you.
Yeah, I'm not to put that down. It's just this is doing it more well or weller better. than others. You know, like it's definitely you know, like where you have the MCU, you had the entire Phase 4 dealing with grief and how you deal with the loss of heroes and how do you move on. They did not do it very well. You know, WandaVision did it very well. You know, the lines like what is grief if not love persevering, things like that, like were
Well, I
amazing.
mean, like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like, I'm gonna disagree with you on here on WandaVision. I mean, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Whatever the fuck happened in WandaVision was, in my opinion, just straight up insanity. Like what she did was wrong. It was insane. And her
Yeah.
for her to go ahead and pursue an entire movie after that because she was trying to pursue her made up children that she fucking made up is fucking insane.
Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of what I'm saying, dude. Is like the DCU is already dealing with that type of thing more realistically, but also being silly about it. Like they're being silly, but in their being silly, they're being more realistic. And so like whereas WandaVision dealt with grief in this like, you know, kind of they tried to do it in a poetic way and it worked at the time. But like what I'm saying is it's a whole new era of, you know, going back to a previous point, it's a whole new era of comic book movies where we're going to dive deep into the humanistic aspects of storytelling. You know, we saw it all year. Thunderbolts. It was about depression and like, you know, like not to
fitting
we're
in,
seeing it
sacrificing.
across all IPs. We're seeing it across Marvel, DC. We're gonna get into it in Star Wars, I guarantee. Which we need to do another episode about Star Wars Starfighter. The speculation there that looks so dope. Amy
Yeah.
Adams. I cannot believe that casting. Like, yes, Amy Adams in the Star Wars universe. Totally getting sidetracked though. All I was saying is that James Gunn and the DCU are tackling. I agree with you that DCU is tackling humanity through storytelling in a really, really interesting way, and I think they're doing it better than like WandaVision did. So, and
I
Marvel and
agree.
WandaVision. So,
And like, I think this is kind of exactly kind of goes to what you're saying. This is like a new age of storytelling, and what this new age of storytelling is just a deeper dive into man's everyday life,
yeah,
where it's okay to talk about your feelings. It's okay that you don't have any friends. It's okay to go out and make friends. It's okay to, talk about this sort of thing. It's okay to be vulnerable. Um, these are all things that hit every single person, daily. I think this is something that, like, number one, is pointing out something. If you were to look back in, I guess you could call it the Silver Age, which, like, what was that? Was that the 50s and the 60s? Um, would
yeah, yeah,
never
yeah, yeah. 50
would never touch on. You'd ask your grandparents that, they'd be like, you don't talk about, that
It was
sort of thing.
about good and evil. Make it simple.
Right. Not even good and evil, man. It's more like living and not living. It's living and
Yeah.
not living. Like, are you living your life to what? I mean, if we're talking about good and evil, to what God aspires to you, or are you, not able? I mean, like, to me, this whole thing is just portraying what you as a person are able to do. I mean, like, and that goes back to the whole thing that, the big argument, like, who's the better, not better, more powerful superhero, Batman or Superman? Superman, and I hate Billy. I hate if you call Superman a god or a godlike being. I just will not respect you. I mean, like, I can
Zack
understand if
Snyder did.
yeah, I don't respect Zack Snyder, man. Like, I can understand if you're using it in the aspect of, like, um Greek mythology or Roman mythology or
Well, I
something like that.
appreciate what Zack Snyder did, and he put that in our minds of, like Superman as God. But it was never like that in the comics. It was never like that
But like, I mean, like, do you
in
see
the
you
cartoons.
see where I'm having the qualm here? Like, like exactly what you just said.
Yes, I think so.
It well, okay, so I
I think
understand
we're
what
on
you
the
just said.
same page.
Right? No, no, I understand what you just said, and I understand what you just portrayed that he said. The word God is not the same word as the word, it not word, but as God.
You're
So you
talking
have
about capital G and lowercase g.
yes, 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 I
Yeah,
am,
yeah.
and I do not like anytime like to me it's lazy. To me, if you were gonna like talk about a higher powered being, use your vocabulary or use your vocabulary. Don't say like something lazy like lowercase g, lowercase o, and lowercase d. I just don't like that. And but also the
I don't know
Catholic
if
in
you
me.
know what I
All
mean by that.
what?
I don't know if you know what I mean by that, though.
I mean, I do know what you mean by that. It's the same thing that everybody else says about that.
I mean, Superman.
I mean, like, we're getting off track here, Billy. We're getting off track. I want to talk about Peacemaker too. All right. So part of what I want to talk about, buddy, and this is what I 100% feel, and this is what I've been seeing. Peacemaker season 2 is Chris's just journey into healing himself. I guess is a good way to put that. And I don't. I mean, I know but like I don't. I know you don't know, but like part of what it is to have an ego death is to like the way like John Cena was portraying himself after he killed himself. Like that's what it is. Like that's a 1,000 yard stare that you have.
I noticed
Like
the when they pulled away, it was a very like Pietà uh scene, like the Mother Mary holding the dying Jesus on her lap, the Pietà. That was what that shot was. So like him, like I get what you mean by the ego death. Like I think there's more
well,
to it than that. I
I
don't
mean, there
think
is
that's
more.
like the main point.
Billy. I mean, like, there's 100% more to it because it's like so he for the when he first went in there, he saw all these grandeur things that he thought that he wanted, that he thought he was missing from his life. I mean, like the season started with him getting rejected and like dissed on and all this stuff, and like that just all of this goes back to what they did. They experienced this traumatic thing and they saved the entire world. They saved everybody. But then nobody gives them any credit. Nobody believes them. Nobody cares, so on and so forth. But that doesn't matter because it's all about what you think about, yourself. Now, what they're having trouble with all the characters that are involved, I think, economist, hardcore, peacemaker, vigilante, and I can't remember Amanda Waller's daughter's name.
Adebayo,
Um, yeah, what they're all
Addy.
having, what they're all having um, hardships with is just integrating back into the world where they
Yeah.
think that they're owed some sort of not owed, but like
Well,
hey, some things
like
are supposed
getting
to
a job at a
change.
gas station is beneath them. Like when Harcourt was like looking back, like it's like, oh, I could get a job there, but that's beneath me because I saved the fucking world last year. I
Right.
get it. Yeah.
Right, right. And but like at the same time it's like, you look at a character like Vigilante. And like, dude, I have all these notes. I got 2 pages of notes, but like,
Did you get through your notes?
no, no, no. I mean, we'll talk because we're going good here.
No,
you
get
look at a
into
character
them.
like Vigilante. You look at a character like Vigilante. I mean, like, because you just were talking about like she was just like I could get a job at like a gas station, but that's beneath me. A character like Vigilante. If you look at him, he's a character with no friends, a character that has nothing to lose, a character that all he wants is to be. Yeah, I mean, I guess the lack of a better word, accepted. Um, but like he he's not gonna care about working at a gas station because like when you see him, he's working as a
Well, yeah,
busboy.
him, yeah, he's different. Like I
But
think he has
but
different motivations though. Like he's not
but
out. He's a psychopath.
but like here that's the point I'm making. Like this is all the same thing though. These are
Yeah,
all the same people. Like I don't I think that these are all the same people, but just at different aspects of like nurture. I guess you could say, like
yeah.
Chris Peacemaker, he is learning because he killed himself. He's bringing himself back, where he's saying, whatever, all this stuff that I thought I wanted, I don't want, type of deal. That's where I think this is going. Hardcore. All right, let's talk about hardcore. She, I mean, first off, I wrote this down, Billy. Did she get the Starlight surgery?
Starlight surgery. What's that?
You remember the boys season something, the season other something? She got a little bit of a surgery, and she didn't really look like she looked like before.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll spell it out in big words where everyone can understand. Okay, so in boys, Starlight in one season looked like something. She looked a lot harder, and then she got in the later season some surgery where she definitely looked like a plastic, and she did not look as hot. And that's what I kind of saw in this, where they were showing
I
hardcore.
I don't think that was a storytelling element. To be honest,
I don't know.
I
It's not a
noticed that.
storytelling. I was just a
No,
comment,
no,
just a
no,
comment.
Nick. What I'm saying though is I noticed that about her in season one. Like I just think she kind of like has that look to her. So
Okay.
I don't think that was like meant to be like I said, storytelling part.
I mean, that's good. I mean, like, I'm glad to hear that she didn't do that because that would have been stupid. But the point was is that like the reason why I brought her up, like her character is one of the main characters that just
Yeah,
have like
awesome.
for some reason some fucking like big chip on her fucking shoulder that she can't fucking like be an adult. Like I mean, like look, all right, Billy, you want to talk about the biggest character development and like exactly what I'm fucking saying in that party when at the very end of the fucking show and season episode 2, Chris is talking to Hardcore and he's like saying this stuff, but he's saying this as like somebody who's grown, like
Yeah,
not like he used to say, and then she's just like blah, gets like pissed at him and then just kind of runs off. You know what I
because she
mean? Like
hasn't grown.
thank you. This is yes. This is what
Yeah,
this is. Like,
exactly.
but like that's what Chris's character is. He's experienced this ego death, and now he's like, he's there. He understands. He doesn't care about all this shit. What he wants to do is make his gang fucking whole. Like that. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like he's not. We're not gonna use fucking Jesus, paragoals, but like he's there. Like he
He's
knows that
gathering his
mentality.
disciples, is what you're
No, I mean
saying.
like like dude, but like he's
You
been
know, like
there. Like
yeah,
he
there's
knows that. He
definitely
doesn't care about all he wants to do is like make his people better. That's where I think this is at. Like that's where I think
yeah.
this is going. Like he's gonna make his people better. I mean, his people make themselves better being together, but he's gonna make his people better. And I think like yes, there's gonna be aspect about the brother. There's gonna be an aspect about the father. There's that one chick in the when they're at the beginning. Is that her mom? Is that their mom? You know,
Oh,
this this dancing with the dad and and the brother. You,
well, there it's hardcore. She's just wearing different
it's
clothes.
not hardcore. It's not hardcore. It's some other chick. I think it's
Okay.
the mom. I think it's the mom,
No, I think
or it's
that's
the
just.
brother, or it's the brother's wife. I don't know.
I think it's just hardcore. But
It's
yeah,
not
all
hardcore.
right, Nick. We're at 45 minutes on our second part of this podcast. First part was an hour. I think we're gonna have to call it there.
All right, buddy. All right.
He
Look,
looked
look,
really
look,
disappointed.
Billy, Billy. All right.
No,
Before we
you have
go.
okay,
All
okay.
right.
Wait, no. Before we go, I need to go pee. So you start your monologue. I'll go
Wait. I want to
pee.
go. I want to go after you. I want to go after you because I want to hear what you're gonna say. So, yeah, I want to go after you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
no. Really, all I gotta say about Peacemakers, I'm in love with it. I cannot wait to see where it goes. Um, second, the second season's off to a different start than the first season. Totally different tone. Uh, or not totally different, much different tone though. And yeah, there's a lot of what we talked about. Like the themes are there. Just really wondering where the plot's gonna go. Like what the big bad is at this point. Like we don't really know.
Mental health.
But like, how is that going to be personified or like visualized? Like culminated. Like what's that going to culminate as? So, really, just looking forward to seeing what he does there.
I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see the end. Like you usually can. But like I do 100%. I'm behind what I'm saying here. Like, cause like you know, Billy, I told you I got like 2 pages of notes here to like talk about, and like I don't think we talked about any of it. A little bit, but that's fine though because we talked about the main point of my thesis on these pages. James Gunn's whole thing is mental health, the human experience, and I think that's what we're going to be seeing here. And 100%, like you said, like I have no clue what this plot is going for
Uh,
here. Like, like I don't know if his dad's gonna be some sort of bad guy, his brother's gonna be some sort of bad guy. I mean, like there's talks of like this alien, which I had.
I
I
haven't
do want to
heard any
point.
talks. I want to hear any spoilers.
Well, no, this is my 2 cents here. The alien that we're seeing is not really an alien. It's a unrecognizable version of Peacemaker.
Hmm. Yes. Okay.
Mind
Sure.
blown, buddy. Mind blown.
But that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. Like, that could be the thing, but like, why? I don't know. I
Right.
think that thing. I think the alien thing that they see in the chamber is going to come back in season three, if there is a season three.
I mean, there's got to be, honestly, because you know what Peacemaker does well for the DC universe is provide a lot of exposition
Yeah,
and background.
world building,
And
tying things
right,
in. I love it. Yeah.
I mean, like if anything, I mean, because like I know he said that the Peacemaker is the biggest thing to the his DC universe. And like exactly what you just said, like what is this doing? I mean, like I don't know, providing exposition, you know, if anything.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for it though. It's entertaining. So, all right. So far, both series, Alien, Earth. I would give it a what's our? I'd say kind of. I'd say mostly Wizard at this point. Not totally Wizard. Uh, Peacemaker's been totally Wizard so far. So, what do you say, Nick?
I will give Alien Earth totally wizard, and I will give Peacemaker totally wizard.
Nice.
Wait. Are we doing a overall of the series or
No, just so
of
far. Just temperature gauge where we're at right now.
I mean like Peacemaker is wizard, Alien Earth is totally wizard. Um,
So yeah, flip flop basically from where I'm
yeah.
at. Yeah.
I mean, like, Wizard is a step down from totally Wizard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes totally wizard,
The
wizard,
only
mostly
reason, yeah,
wizard, kind of wizard, not so wizard.
the only reason why Peacemaker's not a totally Wizard right now is because episode one was just not that epic, and that is, I mean, like episode two, I love, absolutely
Yeah,
love, but
I hear you.
episode one was just not that epic, so that's the only reason it's not
Totally
a totally
fair.
Wizard right now. So,
All right, man. Everybody, thank you for sticking with us so far. This double episode of Mostly Wizard. Please comment, like, and subscribe
like
below.
and subscribe. Give us some comments so we can better ourselves because, yeah.
Yeah, man. We will talk maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. We'll let a couple episodes build up, possibly. We'll go from there.
All right, brother.
Take it easy, YouTube.